See, I'm having a hard time with this one. Was that a bad game? 6-3 is not the score you want to see on a loss. But was that a bad game? I don't think so, and I'm going to tell you why. Let's talk about it.
-10 syrups.
So I actually think that this video is going to be kind of cut and dry. I'm not even going to have to come out and make a bunch of excuses or cope or anything like that. I'm going to be completely honest. And even though it was 6-3 for the Caps at the end of the night, I think the Montreal Canadiens played really well tonight. This might be a tough sell for some of you. I put out a video yesterday kind of surrounding being positive with the team and understanding where the team has gotten to. Video did great. Maybe not in terms of views, but holy smokes, there's a lot of people subscribing to that video. And a lot of individuals watched the whole thing through. I think that this community craves positivity because this market, the Montreal market, is so critical of the team. And when you get critical, especially with a young team who is learning their game, a lot of individuals still developing, it's easy to be critical and negative. But I'm always going to try to be critical and positive. That's why you should subscribe. Like the video while you're at it. I don't really know what likes do, but it seems that it correlates with my videos getting fed to people. So hit the like button. So you're asking me, Whiskey, how could you possibly call this a good game? Well, let's talk about the first period. Montreal's opponent is known for their consistency in terms of being patient. They're an older team and they know when to strike and when to hold back. The first period ended scoreless, with both teams kind of gauging where they're at. It was interesting and responsible, I thought, of this Montreal team. Not even a whole lot of shots in the first period, not a whole lot of shots all game for the Habs. They ended, I think, with 16 shots. So when I saw the period end without a goal, it struck me at how important that is for the team right now. They demonstrated that they can have solid, repeatable, conscientious defensive efforts. They just have to remain consistent. Make no mistakes. That's a tall task because there were a lot of mistakes made this game, but they didn't happen in the first period. Going into the second period, things changed drastically. 3 minutes into the second period, Tom Wilson scores a power play goal on a penalty where Gouli took a holding call against Protas. I thought this was a pretty weak call, but nevertheless, it was a holding penalty. Then not long after that, Protas scores short-handed. This one was interesting because it was called off or offside, but the play started in the defensive zone for the Capitals when a Capitals player dove and tripped Slavkovsky, allowing Slavkovsky to cough up the puck. I thought that's a pretty cheatsy strategy to fall and trip the opponent, having him lose the puck. Of course, there's no call for a penalty, but the goal was waved off regardless. So water under the fridge. Now 8 minutes into the second period, the Caps take an embarrassing too many men call, and he does it again.
Habs come away in numbers. That wrist shot, score! Cole Caulfield does it again!
If you're keeping track, that's his 10th of the season. Caulfield is now, I believe, tied with Nico Hischier for first in goals. About a minute and a half later, it looks like Lane Hutson gets his first goal.
And you knew it was going to get better for number 13, and it has. What a start. Drop pass. That bomb, score!
But upon further review, turns out it's Gallagher. Almost seemed like Gallagher wanted to give this goal to Hutson. Hutson's body language said, dang, I thought I got that one. But a great goal nonetheless. Hutson did a lot of the work here, obviously. He's been doing a lot of the work. But not long after that, and with the Habs still riding high after capturing the lead, Brandon Duheim scores. I thought this was tipped. I didn't think it was Duheim's goal, but what happened here was Gouli really needed to win his battle with Duheim. I'm going to pin this one on Gouli. They're now tied 2-2. And don't turn away, one of the ugliest goals gets made next, not long after the Duheim goal.
Well, the goal line set in front, score! Bang, bang, play, and Verana has made it 3-2. But it's actually Christian Dvorak who passes this puck. He's tangled up with Michael Scarbosa behind the net, and he's trying to win this puck battle, but
Dvorak makes a beautiful front of the net pass to Verana, who doesn't make a mistake and puts that home. It's going to be 3-2 Caps. I want to say up until this point, Primo had little or no chance on these shots. He was actually playing a pretty solid game, and I feel he continued to do so especially on the penalty kill after Josh Anderson took another very weak call, hooking Nick out. So Primo and Savard and a few others kill off that penalty. And what happens next made it feel like the game was going to turn around again.
Hudson gets it from Suzuki. Lane Hudson. They'll send it across. One-time drive. Score! Nick Suzuki.
Nick Suzuki with his 4th goal of the season. That's 13 points in 10 games. And he didn't get all of it on this shot, but this shot is positioned perfectly. That's going to do it for the second period. Moving on to the third period, and this is where it falls apart, but ends, I thought, really well for the Canadiens. 4 minutes in, McMichael gets a goal. Savard had his guy tied up, but Caulfield, I mean, he's a forward. You would really want your defense back there. Wasn't able to get the job done. Then Protas makes it 5-3 Caps. You're now starting to lose hope pretty badly, but Brandon Duheim and Tom Wilson each take penalties. It's a 5-on-3. This is basically do or die. And I loved what Lane Hudson did on this 5-on-3, creating multiple high danger opportunities that nobody could capitalize on. Check it out.
One more time, drifts one, clock the deflection wide. Armia behind the net. Armia, good patience for Hudson. Lane Hudson, dishes, Field gets it back. Hudson, little shimmy, drops it, Suzuki across, one-time drive, what a save!
The Caps kill off that 5-on-3. You're now seeing the energy being zapped out of the room. And then at 12:27, Ovechkin scores his 5th of the season, making that his 858th goal. He's now 36 goals shy of the record. This goal, though, man, Matheson bobbles the puck, and Ovechkin eventually gets his handle on it to put it in. I kind of want to blame Primo here for going down early.
Cross, Ovi, open net, Ovechkin score!
But what the heck is Gooley doing? Is he on top of Primo here? He just kind of lays down on the ice. Anyway, they made it really easy for Ovechkin to get that goal. So they're looking pretty deflated. And then Tom Wilson lays a big hit on Caden Gooley. Josh Anderson was not having any of it. The gloves came off immediately, and Josh Anderson kicked Tom Wilson's.
He took a big hit from Wilson, and Anderson stepped up right away for his teammate. And that is a big ask of Josh Anderson. And Anderson's got the rights going and takes them down.
I criticize Josh Anderson a lot because he grapples during fights, and it turns into a carousel often. But he was laying punches on Wilson here, and Wilson went off looking a little woozy. I love that. It was probably a highlight of the game for me. Josh Anderson with his defensive skills, big body, and ability to fight. I mean, maybe he missed his calling as a defenseman. But that's going to do it for the game, and I'm curious, what did you think after watching that recap? You can't blame Primo for a lot of those goals. They showed a lot of consistency in the first period and in the second period. The third period, it kind of fell apart. There was a lot of mistakes made, but it wasn't everyone making the mistakes. Dvorak, who I feel like the only time I mention his name is when I am complaining about him. So while I try to be positive, Dvorak, man, Caden Gooley, who is just returning, maybe he's shaking a little bit of the rust off. There was a couple of Matheson moments that had me groaning. I'll admit I like Matheson, but I worry about his focus sometimes. But even that's being very critical because I thought they played very well. This is a different Washington Capitals team. They have a lot of momentum. They're playing really strong. I thought they were absolute frauds getting into the playoff last season, but they're still managing to get this car on the road, inspect it, and it still drives. I don't know how they're doing it. Ovechkin's out there looking older than Jaromir Jagr, taking 2.5 minutes to make a shot. Yeah, they're kind of an enigma. But like I said, they're doing really well. They're playing strong. They're beating teams that I would say are much better composed than they are. So while at the end it was 6-3 Caps, I felt that the Montreal Canadiens hung with them most of the game. And if the momentum didn't shift completely to the Capitals side in the third period, it would have looked a lot more like a closer game for the Habs. So I think this game was a good step in that direction. I don't think that Emil Heineman looked super great on the first line. He didn't create those opportunities that I would have liked to have seen him do. And the second line was ineffective, but I did see Slavkovsky working his ass off out there. Doc looked good too. Freaking Newhook took some licks tonight and took the body in a couple of situations that allowed him to move the play forward. I got to hand it to Newhook too. That second line was gritty. They didn't get results, but they were gritty. I think Slav is trying to prove something right now. And I think that Doc has some confidence back. And I think Newhook also probably wants to prove something, because I know that I am personally kind of writing him off a little bit right now. That's going to do it. Thank you so much for watching. How was your Halloween? Did you go out trick-or-treating? What did you do? Anybody dress up? What did you dress up as? Hope you're all having a great day. Tomorrow's Friday. We're on to the weekend. The Habs are playing the Penguins on Saturday? Yeah, on Saturday. So rematch. See if they can win this time. The Penguins are not having a good time. I feel bad for the Penguins. I really like Crosby, but while it looks like the Capitals car can still make it onto the road, Penguins might have to change a couple of tires, old tires. Thanks again for watching. Subscribe if you're not already a Whiskey Fiend. Like the video, helps me with search results or the algorithm or something. And as always, I'll see you down below in the comments.